Hello, good morning. So we just didn't get to it yesterday. I had like a caching issue with Chrome, so I wasn't able to test the preview protocol thing, but fixed it this morning. Everything was actually working, so we could have announced the release candidate yesterday, but we had a plan to actually send out a message today to everyone and kind of invite them to the release candidate. So we're kind of putting that together. So I'm just doing my own little retro on the journey so far. And then, so we're going to write this. I'm going to share it with a couple of colleagues. And then we're going to work on the example playground to see if we can get that ready before 1:30, which is like 10, 11, 12. So we have like 5 hours, almost 5 hours to get this ready before I have to pick up my mother at the airport. So yeah. So I thought I would just share what I'm writing first. So release candidate announcement. After a few months of pivoting the CodeSandbox product to rather service infrastructure and feature through an SDK rather than an end user product, we are almost there. We want to give I'm gonna shove this stuff through ChatGPT. We want to give a huge shout out to early adopters giving us feedback, helping us debug, and sticking with it as we have been moving. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna let GPT fix most of this. To you early adopters giving during this process we built the SDK very much in MVP mode, just listening and getting things in as fast as possible, but now we're taking the time to review the Surface API to make it more accessible, consistent, and give room for more features. We have the official release. Additionally, we have now increased the team. We have increased the team. Oh, in addition, we increased the team from support to DevOps. Increased number of clusters. With our new clusters and more coming, we have increased stability and latency. More coming. We have increased stability and latency of our environments. We are even we can even provide dedicated clusters. We have more work to do. We have more work to do, but are incredibly pumped. By all the seeing all the stuff you're building, and all the hard work we have put into CodeSandbox is finally finding a home. All right, we put into CodeSandbox new infrastructure is finally finding its home. Oh, that's beautiful. I almost started crying. Mental model. The mental model for the new SDK is SDK, management of preview token resources, management of sandboxes. We don't have to say preview tokens. And then, yeah, so it was called Sandbox for some reason. So I'm going to put another release candidate out, just renaming that and deprecating the previous one. For Sandbox resources, the mental model is create or resume management of a single sandbox. Create a session to interact with the sandbox. Let's see. Yeah, so this would be, yeah. How are we going to do this? So we have restart, shutdown, and hibernate. Did all of them return a sandbox? No, not all of them. Yeah, sorry. We should do management of a single sandbox. So that will be sandbox, SDK sandboxes, restart, sandbox ID, sandbox equals SDK sandboxes dot shutdown, hibernate. And I guess do both hibernate and sandbox client hibernate. Do they actually return? No, they don't actually return, and shutdown doesn't return anything either, right? Yeah. Well, restart does. Yeah. Await, await. Create a session to interact with the sandbox. Yeah, I'm not sure. Do we really need management of a single sandbox? The mental model is. How should we describe this? The mental model of the new. Yeah, I don't think we really need. Yeah, I think we should just do. Yeah, let's rather do this. It's not going to really be management of a single sandbox. Management of sessions. Yeah. Let's just do sandbox connect. Create rest session. Yeah, exactly. That's better. Yeah, management of sandboxes, management of sandbox. I guess. You know what? We're gonna do for fuck's sake. Con sandbox equals await. Yeah, create sandbox instance. Sandbox manage manage single sandbox. God damn it. Manage single sandbox, but there's more to it. How are we gonna explain this? No, I like the other one better. And then management of sandboxes, management of single sandbox. So that, oh, why does it do it? Sandbox is up to date. Yeah, I think we don't have to write everything. It's just to kind of create. What else do we actually have on the sandbox itself? We only have the sessions, right? This really isn't anything else. Yeah, update tier and manage sandboxes without direct interaction. Yeah. Interact. Without like what we're gonna call this manage sandbox without create a session to interact with the sandbox. Create a session to interact. Okay, I think that's fine. If you are moving from to the release candidate, if you're moving from to the release candidate, it can be a good idea to read through the documentation. Let's see, and the documentation is where? Let's see. Let's see, where's the documentation? Here it is. Let's see. Can I jump in here? Oh. Cool. If you're moving from it can be a good idea to read through the documentation, as there are several Surface API changes. The most noticeable are shells are removed in favor of higher dedicated abstractions called terminals, commands, interpreters, and tasks. They all abstract the lower level shell, but with accessible methods and behaviors. Let's see. And we should have new features. So what else is like breaking here? Let's do a quick look at the docs. So I guess it's like the splitting of let's see, Hibernate fork. I don't think there are. That's kind of the breaking change. Oh, we also have setup. Let's see. No, what's that? Oh, that's something else. Setup and tasks. For consuming the underlying shells. Let's see. What else do we have? Yeah, as I said, there's not really like any breaking changes. Like it's things are just moved around. Okay, so I should list management of a sandbox is only available. Removed duplicated methods. Management happens on SDK.sandboxes. The sandbox instance is only used to manage that does not require a session management API of a sandbox that does not require a session is available on SDK sandboxes, and that does not require management API of a sandbox. For fuck's sake, I'm not in the mood for this today. Urgh. Yeah, I think it's better to just say like generally the Surface API. Deduplicated methods with a strict and consistent, not strict, with consistent. What like okay, what am I trying to communicate here? I'm trying to like I can't list all the breaking changes. That's the point. I have to have like the general big ones. So shells is definitely one of them. Yeah, I don't think there are any other like breaking changes. Ports, tasks. No, I think that's fine. Ah, come on. Let's continue. We have several new features available. You can now open task to see their shell output. Tasks are now enhanced with features to manage the task and open its shell output. Let's see. Hello there. Hello. Build templates using the CLI. Now deploys the snapshots to all clusters. Building templates. New preview API allows you to interact with the preview iframe in the browser. What else do we have? You can now define environment. Oh, and we have Git. You can now define for your sessions bound to any shell instances, any command or terminal instances created. Command or terminal instances created. Introduce the Git source for a sandbox. You can now pass Git credentials to a session to manage Git in a sandbox. Git source for a sandbox, allowing you to clone a repo. What else do we have? So there's a lot of like tiny things. The browser connection to a sandbox now has a automatic reconnect handling. Reconnect handling. Pass Git credentials to manage Git in the sandbox. Introduce the Git source for a sandbox trying to clone the repo. The browser connection to a sandbox now has automatic reconnect handling. What else fun stuff do we have? Yeah, snapshot library. I think we should. I'm not sure why we're calling them snapshots. Like they are technically a snapshot. I think this was they're really templates. But technically it's a snapshot by the fact of like technically forking from a template. Like if the template is hibernated and a snapshot is created, you're forking from a snapshot. That's what makes it so fast. So yeah, let's rename that. But anyways, what are other? I don't think we have any more like features. It's more like making things more accessible. I think this is fine. It doesn't have to be like perfect, this stuff. General surface API naming and organization. Naming and changes. Like naming and access changes. Behavior and access changes. If you're it can be a good idea to read through the documentation as there are several surface APIs. The most noticeable are, okay, shells, separation of sandbox instance and sessions. Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're happy about this. So I got another piece of feedback yesterday that it's kind of weird that we're calling it .url. It should really be .host on the preview, because it really is a host. So we're going to make that change as well. Okay, I think this is fine. And then the new examples playground. Okay, I think we're kind of happy about this. Well, maybe we should explain how to. Yeah, let's just do npm install CodeSandbox. Make this a shell. CodeSandbox SDK at RC. Yeah. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's make those minor changes. So we have sandboxes now. Let's look at the ports. We're going to name them. So we're kind of, let's see, on ports updated. Is there a simple way for us to do this? Get open ports. So, get open ports. So what we really want to do is map, get open ports. We want to map that to port host URL and then port. So this is going to be host port. Maybe we should give it a type port. No, host. Get open ports. Why is this suddenly being an ass? Oh yeah, it's because of this. So this is going to be port. Wait, does this actually? Oh, sorry. So this is going to be port. Is it consistent now? So this is returning port. Get open port, port or undefined. And all of these, okay, we have to make sure that these are correct. Oh, sorry. Wait, what happened? Port host URL. Yeah, exactly. On the port. Oh, nice. Okay, so now we have host here instead. That's good. And then what else did we talk about? That was more documentation, right? So we have to change URL to host. We need to change sandbox to sandboxes, like SDK.sandbox to SDK.sandboxes. And there was one more thing. Yeah, remove shells. Boop. Shells. We're not going to have shells anymore. Hello, good morning. Let's see. Let's see. So that was removing of shells. App run build. Oh, interesting. So this should be commands run. Yeah, and now we can just do this. Nice. Cool. I guess that's basically it. Yeah, I think we're good. I think Yeah, I think it's a cultural thing. Plus I'm old. So I guess that's it. And I'm very trusting in people. I think people have good intentions. But I guess I'm wrong about that, right? Let's see. I think this is it. And then let's jump to the docs. I'm gonna pull this because I got a bunch of fixes from a colleague, which is amazing. PMPM dev projects. Let's see, localhost 3000. Let me move to my 3000. I'm so excited to get this release. If I can hack, no. I don't really know how to hack. I don't think I've ever. It seems like fun though. It must be very like exhilarating to do hacking. But I guess like to some extent, like I've not been hacking, but maybe I've kind of seen vulnerabilities at times and kind of or identify potential vulnerabilities and kind of then try to see if they're actually there, which is kind of like hacking. But yeah, I don't have. I have never been doing hacking. Yeah, no SQL injections or anything like that. I think this is something young people do. They need the adrenaline kick. I don't need that adrenaline kick. My adrenaline is pumping enough just dealing with the kids. So let's see. Shouldn't you update? Not have. Why is shells there now? I don't have shells here. Oh, I did add them. Sorry. And then snapshot library. So let's call this like temp. Oh, sorry. We can call it. We're gonna call it template library. Snapshot. I want that naming to be consistent. Like a template is a template. When you create, you're creating from a template. The source is a template. Is created. All sandbox by the CodeSandbox are created from a template. Even if you don't pass an argument, we will use the universal template to create a new sandbox for you. Technically, we are forking a snapshot, a hibernated sandbox, This concept of forking is a part of the core foundation. Is part of the core foundation of code. It allows you to create a sandbox. Yeah, that contains all your necessary dependencies, files, or even running servers, and then it allows you to create that contains all your necessary dependencies, files, or even running servers, and then clone it as many times as you would like to create new sandboxes. Yeah. Yeah, you don't know what's coming at you in terms of kids. If you want to have kids at some point. It's on the edge of both sides of the spectrum in terms of joy and exhaustion and adrenaline pumping. Like you're gonna be stretched like crazy. It's almost like there's a spectrum of experience which is like here, and then when you get kids, it just expands. Like, I guess it's better to say this, like in both positive and negative direction. And I guess you can do. It's like it's kind of like when you expand your experience, like climbing Mount Everest. You're gonna experience the same, right? You're just stretching experience in terms of pure joy, but also complete exhaustion. So, but with kids, you just do that every day. Starting from you can start from a template by passing the template ID. Yeah, this template official templates. Cool. Template library. Build templates. Preview host template library. This is great. There we have a bunch of templates. What else? Okay, we need to search and replace SDK.sandbox. I think it should be safe to just say sandboxes. $59 occurrences. And then we have .url, 9 results. What the hell is this? App port, host. Oh, wait for port. Yeah. DB port. Oh, host name? That's interesting. Okay. Host. Hostly host. So this would be host. Host and host. Cool. Nice. I think that's it. Yes, I think that's it. Use sandboxes and host. Cool. Let's just quickly look through the, where did I have the, yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna share this Notion document with a couple of colleagues, get some review, and then one thing we also have this change list for those actually running the latest. How are we going to do this? Because there's someone that's running kind of like the latest beta, and we really have a specific... Yeah, no, I think I'm just going to give that to those that has been running the beta. Yeah, so I'm going to do that manually, and then this is going to go out to everyone. So after a few months of pivoting the CodeSandbox product to rather service infrastructure and feature through an SDK. Okay, serving. After a few months of pivoting the CodeSandbox product, serving. Okay, let's just give all of this to... Is there an AI here? Oh, can't I get like an actual like copy of everything? Export. Markdown. Yeah. Export. What happened there? Ah, or is there like an AI? Oh, here we have an AI. Please review the text and suggest changes. I wonder what model they're using at Notion. So, consider adding a brief sentence about what the SDK is for newcomers. Oh, well, they don't. No, I'm gonna let humans do this. After a few months of pivoting the CodeSandbox product to serve its infrastructure and feature through an SDK. Yeah, that was a long sentence. After a few months of pivoting the CodeSandbox product to service infrastructure and feature through an SDK, we're almost there. We want to give a huge shout out to all early adopters, giving us feedback, helping us debug, and sticking with it as we have been moving forward. As we have been iterating. During this process, we built the SDK. in MVP mode, just listening and getting things in as fast as possible. But now we have taken the time to review the Surface API to make it more accessible, consistent, and give room for future features. Additionally, we have increased the team from with support, engineering, and DevOps. Additionally, we increased the team with support, engineering, and DevOps. With our new clusters and more coming, we have increased the ability and latest of our environments. We can even provide dedicated clusters. We have more work to do, but are incredibly pumped seeing all the stuff you're building and that all the hard work and seeing all the hard work we put into CodeSandbox new infrastructure is finally finding its home. Cloud infrastructure is finally finding its home. Blah blah blah. Install RC, mental model, management of preview tokens, management of sandboxes. For sandbox resources, the mental model is manage sandbox without a session, create a session to interact. Breaking changes. If you're moving for a release candidate, it can be a good idea to read through the documentation, as there are several Surface API changes. The most noticeable are shells are removed in favor of higher dedicated abstractions called terminals, commands, interpreted, setup, and tasks. They all abstract a low-level shell, but with accessible methods and behaviors for consuming the underlying shells. Separation of sandbox instance and sessions. We have several new features available. Task are now enhanced with features to manage the task and open its shell output. Building templates using the CLI deploys the snapshots to all clusters. A new preview API allows you to interact with the preview iframe in the browser. You can now define environment variables for your sessions, bound to any command or terminal instance created. You can now pass Git credentials to a session to manage Git in the sandbox. Introduce the Git source for a sandbox, allowing it to clone a repo. The browser connection to a sandbox now has automatic reconnect handling. Okay, cool. So let me release candidate, share. Everyone. Let's see. Yeah, I know it's boring. But when I'm done with this, which I am now, we're gonna build a playground. That's gonna be fun. Stay tuned. On the release candidate, please feel free to change anything. I'll be working on the examples playground now, and that I'm for getting this message out in a few hours. Cool. Yeah, playground. Let's see. Let's get to that part. So we have this thing here, which is running on my localhost 5174, I think. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, sorry. So this should be host now. Yeah, like we might have a port there. Yeah, whatever. Oops. Okay, so this whole thing is going to, but what I don't understand, we have to fix one thing first, because something weird happened here. I pushed this to a remote repo, but that remote repo suddenly has like a Next.js code in it. Oh, I think I know why. Oh, it's just because I didn't actually add anything. I just I just added the remote, but I didn't actually add. Oh, that's stupid. Anyways, so we're gonna go in here. We're gonna vibe code the hell out of this. So I'm just gonna set up Tailwind. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Ugh. Using Vite. Perfect. That's what I'm doing. Are we using npm? Yes, nice. So then we have Vite config. No, did you? Oh, there you go. Tailwind CSS. And then we have import Tailwind CSS in. Do we have, yeah, app CSS? That should be it. Yeah. No, we also have index CSS. Let's do it there instead. And then we're going to delete this one. Cool. Cool. Why are you complaining? Why don't I have restart TypeScript, sir? There we have it. It's way down there. Oh. Why isn't that thing working? Okay, I think we can like at least minimize these things so I don't have to jump around so much. Why are you complaining? Oh yeah, I didn't npm install. Yarn link CodeSandbox SDK. There we go. Okay, so I think we have everything here now, though I did run dev command. Yeah, so I think we're gonna do create instead. Yeah. Run bad command. Okay, I think we can rather do this now. Yeah, cool. So don't you have better stuff to do? But now I know you're trying to trick me. Well, was it like famously, was it Bush who said something like, fool me once, you can't fool me, something. There's a funny clip about that. He stumbled in his words. Let's see. So let's go and go to the main app thing here. And then we're going to move, let's see, because we're going to have the WebSocket session. But what I think we need to do is, okay, no, let's just try to start vibe coding this. npm run dev. Could you, I want to create an example playground. Could you, I just installed Tailwind CSS. Could you create a nice front page in the app component that gives a list of examples, that gives a list of that would like show some list of examples and be able to click them. I would love to. Yeah, how would I do this? The thing about React, this being built in React, is that React has such a bad environment for dealing with this. Like you have all these refs and stuff, which kind of sucks. So I would, like, if I were going to use the SDK, I would not use it directly in React. I would abstract it. But yeah, I'm curious. Well, we should simplify this. We should just show the examples so people can like easily play with it, and then also have links to the actual example code. Let's see what it comes up with. Is that it? Okay, let's see what it did. Oh. Wait. Oh, app CSS from preview TSX. Wait, that's weird. Oh, look at that. Play. Oh, look at that. Okay. It didn't look amazing, but I think it's fine. So what we want to do is basically, let's see. Let's look at app. So it has these. Okay, so it's using an ID, but yeah, so that's the thing we have to figure out first. So when you open this playground, what do we actually want to do in terms of No, I'm not going to do that now because you're trying to trick me. Like, if you find it so amusing, why don't you use an AI to do this? I think you'd have more fun doing that. Try to trick in, like, because these AIs, they have a lot of like rail guards to not do bad things. So this is a fun game to make an AI like say things they shouldn't say and do that. Let's see. Yeah, so the question is, when people visit this playground, like if we use the same sandbox, they're gonna be messing with. So I think what we're gonna do is have a local storage entry, which is gonna be the sandbox. So let's see, we have server here. Oh yeah, sandboxes. So we're actually resuming one, but what I think we should do is sorry. So what we should do is, if you don't have an ID in local storage, We're gonna create one. Or maybe we should just create one when you enter the page. But that's like, how are we gonna do that? We could also lazily, yeah, maybe that's better. We could lazily create a sandbox. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So we're gonna show these examples inline from app. So we could make this lazy. So the first time you like open an example, it's gonna actually create the sandbox. And then we can have a state for that. But again, like if you're gonna visit the examples, it's nice to just have the sandbox there. We are cleaning them up, so it's not like... Well, we do have a shit ton of sandboxes in our workspace. How are we gonna do that? Well, so our examples, they are like interpreters, the preview, tasks, terminal. We're gonna have a bunch of terminals that... this was harder than I thought. So one thing is demoing commands, because they clean themselves up. Terminals don't. So we might have like an insane list of terminals. Because people, like, they won't kill them before they leave the example site. And it's also nice to be able to see the same terminal when you like refresh. But you shouldn't see the terminal of others. How are we gonna do this? And then the thing is, like, if someone restarts the task, you're gonna see that, no, you have to have your own sandbox. That's for sure. I think we're actually gonna do that. Like playground examples, and they're kind of gonna be yeah, and it's kind of nice to demo how fast you can create a sandbox. Yeah, okay, we're gonna do that, at least for this version. So I want the page to have a button, so I want the examples to be disabled by default. The user has to click a button called Create Sandbox. To enable the examples. To enable this, the example, clicking the button should make a post request to the API, and an ID will be returned. Oh, sorry, not an ID, but a browser session. Oh, that's interesting. How would you actually... Oh yeah, sorry. And an ID will be returned. Yes. You should go to CodeSandbox.io. There you see a lot of information about what CodeSandbox is. but we are making CodeSandbox a service so that you can instantiate and interact with development environments programmatically. It's almost like having your little computer in the cloud that you can give to an AI or whatever. Okay, so we're gonna have this thing. Let's implement this. App get API sandboxes. Oh, this is a post, sorry. And what we are going to do is, oh, look at me doing mistakes. I'm gonna have, well, regress, and then we're gonna do sandbox would then be await SDK. This is gonna be async. Sandboxes create. Yeah, but we can just do. Yeah, this is interesting because we really want to have. Okay, we're gonna create a template. Wait, we can use we can use the template library. Where did we put that thing? Oh, didn't I open the? Oh, there we are. Templates. We have. Oh, we have so many templates. Where's Vite? Oh, I can just. We have React. Yeah, let's do React. So we're gonna create source template. Sorry, ID is gonna be this one. And then we're gonna return, oh, sorry, res JSON ID sandbox ID. Cool. And then this is gonna give us the data. Yeah, the ID. Cool. How does it look now? By the way, can I move this like into my other? Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Create sandbox. Could you add some text that explains that the user needs to create a sandbox to explore the examples? Also mention that this will fork a snapshot of a sandbox. This will for of a sandbox to unique to a new VM instance. Accept changes. So what I think we want to do as well is oh, select. Okay, we have to change this. We're not gonna have IDs on this. What we're rather gonna have. So there's no. Okay, so this is the select. Okay, that's fine. Let's do number instead. And then we're gonna have sandbox ID, set sandbox ID. Ugh, this is like, I really dislike. So when we have a sandbox ID, that's when we're gonna connect to it. Wait, what is this? Set session? Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Cool. And then we're setting the session. We're gonna keep a state. We're gonna make this whole thing a state, so we can keep give some information about what's happening. Okay, I think we're gonna do that now. So we're gonna do state, set state, use state, and this is gonna be, let's define that. Type, yeah, I guess state, current, idle, and then we don't really have anything, or it's gonna be current, loading sandbox. Let's see, creating sandbox, current connecting to sandbox. Yeah, this is gonna have a sandbox ID. And then we're gonna have, no, we're not gonna have a session. We're gonna have like progress. It's just gonna be a string. I guess we can have, yeah, let's have progress there as well. Current connected. And this is gonna have a session. WebSocket session. Oh, session. Why did I do WebSocket? Yeah, I guess we can still have sandbox ID there. Okay, so these are our states, I think. It's gonna start out as current is idle. And then what we're rather gonna do here is remove all of these. We're not even gonna have the session ref. Okay, so let's go through this. So first we're gonna set state to, can you help me? Current creating sandbox. That's fine. Current connecting to sandbox. Yeah. Connecting to sandbox, fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. If no selected, if no playground, how did it do this? Oh, interesting. Hello there, good morning. So I think we're just gonna load the playground. We're not gonna have this stuff in there. Yeah, let's just do that. So this is gonna be the thing. What we have to do though, we're missing some state. Connected, selected, example. That's a number for now. Let's drop use ref. Cool. And then we have, let's go down here. Handle create sandbox. So this is disabled if our state current, if not equal to idle, then that's going to be disabled. Okay. Yeah, but this is actually just gonna, no, this is gonna be, oh, this is the button, sorry. No, I think this can just be create sandbox. Oh, you know what? We're gonna do this differently. We're gonna say if it's idle, then we're gonna show the button. Let's see. So there's no like disable state or anything like that. There's nothing like that. So when you do create sandbox, we're gonna replace this with yeah, we're gonna make this nicer, but now we should have like state dot. Yeah, I guess this current equals connected. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna make this better. But let's. Okay. And then we have and set selected. No, this will be set state. Yeah, so this is gonna be index. Come on. Come on. Current. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, this is quite a messy process, but we're gonna make it good. So we're gonna listen to the state here. So if state.current equals connecting to. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. So we wanna fire up. Okay. Oh no, wait a minute. We're just gonna do this. We're not gonna use an effect even. So we're gonna set that state connecting to sandbox, and then we're gonna connect to the freaking sandbox with data ID, and then we're gonna get some info here. We're gonna get init status callback. I'm not sure if we're actually gonna get much, but no, this is still connecting. Status status.message. Cool. And then we're gonna change to connected session. This is messy stuff. Connected session selected example 0. Well, that's gonna be null actually. We don't have a selected example. We have to change that. So yeah, that can be null. No use effect. I think this is pretty good. So yeah, and then we need a check here for an actual example, but yeah, that's fine. Oh, that looks like shit. Okay. Oh, failed to create. What was the error? Oh, not found. Did I restart the server? Let's put this on the. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Could you change the information to be below the button instead and without any borders and stuff? It is just a descriptive text related to the button, to what the button does. Yeah, maybe it's it's very big now. Maybe we should just, I've zoomed in a ton. Maybe we should, yeah, do something like this. And then, failed. So I think we wanna keep this. So this would be here instead. Why is that failing? I'm doing fetch API sandboxes method post. Why is that failing? Oh, is it the slash I'm missing? Yeah, let's try again. There we go. Connecting. Oh, then it says, wait, isn't it connected? Or did it fail? Oh, I think something went wrong. No, then it should have said failed to create. Why didn't it go to state current idle? Then we have the button. If not, that's weird. Oh, finally. That's the reason. It shouldn't do that. Cool. Okay, so then we're connected to the sandbox, and that should open up these things. We should have our session that we can pass into each example. So we're in a good place, I think. So that the only thing we need to fix now is so that when you click these examples, we're actually going to show the example. So let's just do commands. Run commands. Task run manage tasks. So now we need component. Maybe we can. How should we do this? Examples. I think we should just pass in the session, WebSocket session, and then we're gonna do commands component session. Oh, you're getting ahead of yourself. Okay, I guess we can. Okay. And then this is just component null. Or we can call it render. That's nice. Okay, so playground example, blah, 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 blah. We're gonna do, okay, so if we have, okay, if state.current equals connected and state.selected example not equal to null, we're gonna do something. We're gonna do examples render state session. Exactly. That's exactly what we're gonna do. There we go. Okay, so now in theory, we should be able to, oh, the command. Why are we importing this every time? That's weird. Oh, the same for tasks. Interesting. Okay, so now we have the playground. first need to create sound. This will fork a snapshot of a sandbox in UV, giving you an isolated playground environment. Creating sandbox, connecting. Yeah, what's interesting though is that we could make this faster. Because now it's like creating the sandbox and then it goes kind of back to the server to like resume it. But it doesn't have to do that. We could return the initial session immediately. But the thing is, if we do that, then it's going to, it's a little bit harder to express exactly this part of connecting. Because if it like disconnects now, yeah, it's almost like you want to pass it like the initial session. It's very interesting. So we, instead of getting an ID here, we could get like an initial session. So when we get this session, yeah, it's interesting. But that resume call should be exceptionally fast. Okay, we're just gonna keep it like this for now. And when I go to commands, oh yeah. Oh yeah, maybe we should make the, sorry, maybe we should make the text part of this thing. It makes more sense. So yeah, we need to fix this one. Maybe we can just, yeah, start dev. I'm not sure that makes sense. Could you make the command example here prettier? But we should like run echo. Run bad command. Oh yeah, it's coming out in the, why do we have this thing? Okay, let's see what it does now. Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, maybe we should like not have, we could just have the examples inline. We don't have to click the examples. We could just render out so you just scroll through them. I think that's better. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I'm really hungry. I have to eat some food. But I'm gonna do another stream when I'm back, and then we're gonna just do the playground, just list down all the examples. So you can play around with it. But they're gonna be like individual components. But yeah, that's gonna be nice. And then we're gonna review each example and come up with a couple of more examples, and then we'll take it from there. Cool. Bye for now.